everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're gonna do another freezer meal. This time we're gonna make one that's gonna go right in your slow cooker or in your pressure cooker. Today we're gonna make this delicious sweet and sour chicken. I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. Today we are going to make a sweet and sour chicken freezer meal that you can cook in your slow cooker or in your pressure cooker. This is going to be made in a zip top bag. We're going to be using one of our reusable ones. So to get started, you're going to need approximately 2 pounds. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can use boneless, skinless chicken thighs if you like. You can cut that up into cubes. We want it to be somewhat uniform. And then we're going to also add, this is a medium-sized onion that I have sliced like into just wedges, 3 stalks of celery that I cut on the bias, and I have about 8 of those baby sweet bell peppers, and I just cut those in quarters, and if they were kind of long, I cut them in half lengthwise. We want everything to be approximately the same size so that it cooks evenly and it fits nicely in the bag and everything incorporates well. Now we're gonna build our sauce. So we're gonna need a 20-ounce can of pineapple tidbits. You can also use pineapple chunks or crushed pineapple if you like. It's a little easier if you don't use the crushed because we're gonna be separating the juice from the pineapple here as part of our sauce base. So we're gonna have the pineapple, a half a cup of ketchup, 1 cup of granulated sugar. You can choose to reduce this to half a cup if you like. And if you don't want to use real granulated sugar, you can use Splenda or erythritol if you like, same amount. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Again, you can use a brown sugar substitute here. A half cup of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 4 cloves of minced garlic, approximately 2 tablespoons of lemongrass paste. This is optional if you can't find it. I buy this in a tube in the produce section. If you can't find it, you can leave it out. It's really no big deal. We're also going to add approximately 3 to 4 tablespoons of minced ginger. This I also buy in a paste form in a tube from the produce section. You can use less if you like. And approximately 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of dark soy sauce. So that's how we're gonna get all started here. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pour off this pineapple juice from the can. You don't have to like squeeze it out or anything, but just get the majority of it in there. And we're gonna add our ketchup. Everything for the sauce just goes in all at one time. Our water, granulated sugar or substitute, brown sugar or brown sugar substitute, apple cider vinegar. If you have just plain white vinegar, that works too. Soy sauce, our ginger paste, our lemongrass paste, our garlic, and I'm going to just give that a bit of a zhuzh. Now we're going to go ahead and put our cornstarch in here and get a whisk. Now this is not going to be thick because in order for this to thicken, it has to have heat applied to it. But adding the cornstarch right to the sauce before you make the freezer meal helps all of this come together. And then if you put it in your slow cooker or your pressure cooker, it's going to thicken up nicely as it cooks. It looks kind of ugly right now, but as it cooks, I promise it's going to look wonderful. Now we're going to put all of this together. Our chicken is going to be first thing to go in the bag. And then we'll add the pineapple, onion, bell pepper, and there goes our celery. And now all we have to do, I'm going to give my sauce one last stir, and we're going to pour it over. Now, you just want to take it off of this stand and seal it up. Now, when you seal it up, you want to try and press as much air out of it as you can, if that's possible. Okay, helpful hint, top tip, whatever you want to call it. Please make sure that your seal is 100% sealed, nice and tight, before you lay it down on the counter. Because I just did that and it spilled. It was ugly and messy, but I caught it in time so I didn't lose a whole lot of the sauce. So, my tip here was that if you have some bread pans, this is just one of my regular bread pans I pulled out from the bottom of the stove where I keep them, to put your bag inside this and then freeze it, because this way you'll be able to put it in your slow cooker or in your pressure cooker. It'll have a bit of a bottom. It won't be, this bag is extremely full. You can of course make less of a recipe if you like, or you can divide this into two, and that way you'll have less in the bag. You'll be able to store it small. You can actually put this on a baking sheet and freeze it flat, and you can thaw it out overnight in your refrigerator until the day you're going to cook it, and then you can just pour it into your slow cooker or your pressure cooker. If you're going to make this in your slow cooker from frozen, you're going to want to put it on high for 6 to 8 hours. If you're going to cook it thawed, if you thaw this in your refrigerator for 24 hours, then you're going to want to pour this into the vessel and cook it on low for 4 to 6 hours. If you want to cook this in your pressure cooker, I recommend that you thaw it overnight, that you pour it into the vessel, and that you consult your manufacturer's instructions or use the presets for meat, chicken, however your particular brand of pressure cooker works. I would cook it on the meat setting for 30 minutes and allow it to come down on natural pressure instead of a quick release. What I'm gonna do, rather than freeze this off, is I'm gonna go ahead and cook this for dinner in the pressure cooker, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like all cooked up, and then that way you'll be able to see the finished product, and I think that you're really going to enjoy it. So we'll be back in just a moment. Well, there you have it. Our sweet and sour chicken is fresh out of the pressure cooker. I cooked mine in my 6-quart pressure cooker. I do not have an Instant Pot brand pressure cooker. I have a different brand. I used the chicken setting. I increased it to medium pressure, and I also increased it to 25 minutes, and I let it come up to pressure, cook all the way, and then I let it come down off natural pressure instead of quick release. And now we're ready to eat. We've steamed some rice. We're ready to go. Quick tip, you can also make rice ahead of time and freeze it while it's still hot in meal-sized portion bags, and that way you can take that out to thaw, or you can stick it in the microwave really quick and you can thaw it out like for 3 minutes, and then just give it a little zhuzh with your hands, and it should be just perfect, like it was fresh made. So, you want to taste this?
You should smell it.
It smells amazing, right? The veggies are nice and tender. The sauce is not super thick, but it's thick enough. If you want your sauce to be a little thicker, you can always let that simmer in the pressure cooker on slow cook, or put it on saute for about 10 minutes, and the sauce will thicken up a little more. Additionally, you can add a little bit more water and cornstarch slurry if you like your sweet and sour chicken to be a little more, the sauce to be a little more thickened.
That's good.
Oh, that's really good. It's not too sweet. It's perfectly tangy from the little bit of vinegar that we put in there and the ketchup. You see, it's not red. It's not like super... When you buy the sweet and sour sauce in the grocery store, they have a lot of additional food coloring added to that. This is delicious. It's going to be perfect freezer meal. You pull this out whenever you're ready and pop it in whatever is convenient for you to cook. Well, that's how you make a delicious sweet and sour chicken slow cooker freezer meal. Really easy, really quick, really economical. I hope you give this a try, and I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.